Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Sara Mehle. She is the ESG Index Strategist with Nasdaq Global Indexes to take a look at June performance and trends that she's identified for the Nasdaq Index family. Sara, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Hey, Jill, thanks. Happy to be here.
All right, you got it. Let's kick into your first slide here on the deck and for an overview of what you saw within the Nasdaq indexes.
So just across our featured and global indexes, we did see another month of general weakness. Across our 99 indexes that we're tracking here, we only saw 6 that were able to post positive returns, and the average index out of those 99 posted a negative return of 8.7. So this was way weaker than we saw in April and just slightly weaker than we saw, April and May. So we saw the Nasdaq 100 fall 9%. The equal-weighted version of the Nasdaq 100, about 7.9%. So it shows us there that we saw weakness generally across the board from large caps and mid caps. And within our global suite, we also saw overall weakness with the Nasdaq Europe index taking the hardest hit there, down a little over 10.6%.
Yeah, and if we take a look at the green economy, Nordic, dividend, and income indexes, only one out of that entire suite was in the green for the month.
Sure. So you'll see on the screen that the Nasdaq OMX Solar Index gained just under 12% in the month of June, which was, the top performer for the second month in a row out of all of these indexes that we track. So solar really on a kick there. We did see, if wind and water counterparts pull back over the last month. So we did not see that strength really throughout the Nasdaq green economy. But again, strong performance there from solar. A general weakness again across Nasdaq Nordic and across Nasdaq dividend and income indexes as well, which was a bright spot last month, but we really have seen those pull back, specifically the Nasdaq Technology Dividend Index, as well as the Nasdaq US Buyback Achievers Index.
Yeah, and if we look at our indexes that are more focused on specific asset classes and technical indicators, we saw the BulletShares outperform relative to the rest of the family.
Yeah, so we do see some positive performance there, some green on the screen, if you will, across the BulletShares lineup. Within our options suite, again, general weakness there. And then across our Nasdaq Dorsey Wright Momentum suite, we really didn't see any sort of sustained leadership there. So energy, which had been a high flyer, pulled back over 20%. And we also saw basic materials fall 20%. So really those high momentum leaders have kind of fallen off the board there. Consumer staples, although it did finish negative, was one of the more was able to withstand that pullback, and as well as the healthcare tech index.
Yeah, and finally, if we take a look at our thematics, our last slide here, biotech, finally some participation to the green side.
Yeah, some nice green on the screen here. So biotech across healthcare, junior biotech, and Nasdaq biotech, those were some of those strong performers we saw in June. Specifically, the Nasdaq Junior Biotech Index, we saw that gain 9.4%. So that was, it definitely outran the Nasdaq U.S. Healthcare Innovators and Biotech indexes. But again, it is nice to see that we did also see the Healthcare Innovators and the Biotech, post some gains there. Across the other thematic and tech indexes, we did see, most pull back around 7-8%. With semiconductors really taking the hardest hit there in the tech space, with the Phillips Semiconductor Index pulling back 17.5%. So some of these themes we saw, continue from last month, but some are actually reversals from last month. We just see a lot of volatility, a lot of choppiness, and we did see, unfortunately, just another month of weakness. Today, we do see, a little bit, the Nasdaq 100 up a little bit today. We don't really know if that's going to be a sustained trend, but, at least a positive here as we kick off a new week. But again, June broadly negative, with the average return across our indexes falling 8.7%.
All right, Sara, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.